Hey, friend, I'm glad you're here. Wherever you are, maybe it's night, maybe it's raining outside, or maybe the world around you is loud and you just want silence. I want you to breathe. Just one breath. You don't need to do anything else right now. This moment is yours, and I'll be right here with you, telling you a story until sleep takes over. And if this helps you feel a little safer, a little calmer, or just a little less alone, feel free to subscribe. It means a lot to me. Now, let me take you far away. Not just in time, but in feeling, in texture, in temperature. I want to take you somewhere so foreign, so real, that for a moment you forget this century even exists. Close your eyes. You are not royalty. You're not a warrior, not a priest, not a scholar. Not this time. You're ordinary, and that's exactly what makes today so hard. The year doesn't matter. Dates here are for scribes in stone. You're in a village just south of what the future will call Luxor. To you, it's Wasset. Your world is narrow, dry, and shaped like the Nile. You wake up not to an alarm, but to a shout. A man's voice from the path outside. Up! Move! Sand crunches under sandals. Somewhere nearby, a goat protests. The floor beneath you is mud brick and still damp from the night. You sit up too fast. Your neck is sore. The mat you slept on is fraying again. Your home is one room. One room, 5 people, one cat that comes and goes through the window. The walls are clay, and they breathe heat like a slow oven. On the floor nearby, your younger brother is still curled on his side, the back of his foot blackened from yesterday's blister. You nudge him gently. He groans. You don't speak. There's no time. A woman, your mother or your aunt, or maybe she's both, hands you a handful of something mashed. Lentils, maybe, or yesterday's beans. You eat it without asking. It's warm, but not fresh. There's a hint of garlic. Your stomach turns, but it's food. Outside, the sun is already starting to lean. It doesn't rise. It looms. The air smells like hot dust and the faint sweetness of palm oil. You slip your sandals on, tie the cloth around your waist, and step out. No breakfast, no words, no choice. The walk to the work site is short, but your body is already sore. Your back aches from the straw bundles you carried 2 days ago. Your arms from the bricks yesterday. Your fingers from the rope. It never stops hurting. You just stop noticing. The overseer is standing with his hands behind his back. His robe is cleaner than anyone else's. His voice is louder, too. He reads from a scroll, calling names. You hear yours. You answer. You do not look him in the eye. That's a rule you learned fast. The ones who stare back too long don't show up the next day, or they show up with fewer teeth. You're assigned to transport water today. That sounds easy. But the well is almost half a mile from the base site, and each jar weighs more than your brother. You lift one, balance it against your shoulder, and start walking. It spills. You're not supposed to let it spill. That's a waste. That's a mark. You grit your teeth. The sun is no longer rising. It's attacking. The sky is the color of parchment, and the heat pulls the moisture from your skin before it has time to sweat. You stop thinking in sentences. You just walk. At the site, you see the blocks again. The ones they told you would become a wall. A wall for someone you'll never meet, whose name you're not allowed to say. That's fine. Names don't matter here. Only the whip does, and the whip doesn't care what you think. The men around you are quiet. Some chant under their breath. Soft, rhythmic, a prayer maybe, or just a way to stay awake. You hear a woman sobbing once, then silence. You don't look, you keep your head down. The only break comes when the temple bell rings. Not for you, for the priests. You're allowed to stop for 5 breaths, not 6. You sit on a rock and let the water drip down your spine. You think of the Nile. How far it is. How cool. How wide. You've seen it only once, when your uncle took you on a grain barge. It was beautiful. You were 9. You were barefoot. You were happy. Someone shouts, "Back to work." You stand. The skin on your back pulls tight. You hope it doesn't bleed again. No one talks here. Only the stones speak, and they speak slowly. But if you listen, you can almost hear them ask, "How many more of you will it take to finish this wall?" The answer is always the same. As many as it takes. You are one of many. And the day is just beginning. The sun climbs higher. By now, your skin has turned from brown to something darker. Ash, dust, sweat layered like paint. You taste iron. Not from blood, just from breathing too deeply. The air is thick, not with moisture, but with the heat itself, like you could choke on it. You wipe your forehead with your arm, but it does nothing. A boy next to you collapses. You don't know his name. He's been here a week, maybe 2. A man, older, missing an eye, drags him to the shade and fans his face once, twice, then stops. There's no water left to waste. You look away. You haul more jars. You watch ants gather around a bit of fallen grain and wish you were them. Their world is simple. No overseers. No gods watching from carved pillars. Just work and food and sleep. They win. You don't. A priest passes by. His robes are perfect. White, linen, perfumed. He does not look at you. That is by design. If he did, he might see himself reflected in your eyes. Might wonder how thin the line really is between the divine and the broken. You hear a whisper. Someone nearby muttering words to Thoth, god of wisdom, asking for clarity. Or maybe for escape. You've tried praying. You still do. Sometimes. But when your lips move, the sky doesn't answer. Just more heat, more dust. The gods here are not gentle. They do not whisper back. They watch, and they keep count. Your legs tremble, your knees buckle. But you stay upright. If you fall, they will mark you. If they mark you twice, they'll cut your rations. 3 times, and you disappear. You've seen it. A man who talked too much. A woman who limped. A boy who stopped working to help another stand. Gone. No one asked. No one dared. The village has rules. No one writes down. You learn them early or you don't learn at all. You can't remember the last time you laughed. You used to smile. You used to tell jokes to your brother while fetching reeds or fishing at dusk. But the joy leaked out of you, one drop at a time, until it became safer to be silent, safer to be invisible. But even invisible things cast shadows. By midday, your lips have cracked. Your fingers are bleeding where the rope rubs against them. You wrap them in cloth, not to heal, but to hide the blood. Blood is weakness. Weakness is punished. A cart creaks by, pulled by oxen too tired to protest. On it, bricks. Hundreds of them. You help lift one, then another, then another. You lose count. You always lose count. That's the point. The man behind you trips. A brick slips, lands on his foot. He screams. Everyone freezes. Then the overseer appears. No words. Just the staff in his hand, thick and black, swinging without warning. The scream changes pitch, then stops. The man lies still. You feel your stomach twist, not from fear, but from the effort of not reacting. The overseer speaks. Next one to drop a brick gets the same. And just like that, the sun keeps burning. The work continues, and the silence returns. Like nothing happened. But something did. Something always does. You carry on. Your legs move by memory now. Your hands work without thought. The body becomes a machine when the mind shuts off. You've trained yourself to disappear inside your own skin. When a breeze comes, brief, weak, but real, you almost cry. Almost. But crying is dangerous. Salt from your own tears can sting worse than sweat, and if someone sees, they might take it as defiance. So you blink and breathe. You think about your sister. She's gone now. Married off. 10 years old. You don't know where she went. You hope she eats. You hope she's safe. You doubt both. Someone once said the gods choose the kind for suffering, so they don't forget the earth. You wonder who said that. Probably someone who never lifted stone in the sun. You'd like to talk to them, just once. You'd like to ask, why me? But again, no one answers. And so you work. Still more to come. You stop noticing time. Time becomes irrelevant. There is only the motion of bodies, the weight of earth, and the rhythm of breath measured against the cracks of a whip. The sun has passed its highest point. Shadows have begun to stretch again, thin and lazy on the sand. But there's no relief. The sand is alive beneath your feet. Fine, cruel, creeping into every fold of your clothing, into your eyes, your mouth, your ears. It grinds between your teeth like powdered bone. When the wind shifts, it becomes a wall. You do not cover your face. You cannot. Both your hands are busy, and the jar on your shoulder is leaking. You pass a line of palm trees. The shade they offer is cruel in its distance, too far to be reached, too narrow to shelter more than one person. You keep walking. The guard on the hill watches you. He doesn't speak. His eyes are shaded by a strip of cloth, but you can feel the weight of his gaze. Not cruel, not kind, just practiced. The look of a man who has seen too many bodies fall and learned to keep counting. Your shoulder begins to blister. You can feel it, a patch of rawness under the strap of the water jar. The skin has softened with sweat and heat, and now each step rubs it thinner. You grit your teeth. You're not allowed to complain, not even to yourself. As you lower the jar beside the wall, your legs almost give way. But you catch yourself. You catch yourself every time. Because falling is the one thing they won't forgive. The master builder is shouting. He's always shouting. His voice is a rasp, dry from years of command, and he never loses it. You wonder if he was born that way, with words like blades and a face made of stone. Someone has placed a block wrong, 2 centimeters off. The entire row must be redone. You're assigned to the reset crew. Again, again, again. Stone by stone, grain by grain, sweat by sweat. As you lift the first block, your hands go numb. Not with pain. With something deeper, something worse. The loss of sensation. You know they're still bleeding. You saw the cuts this morning, but now you feel nothing. As if the body has finally decided, this is enough. A friend. No, not a friend. You don't have friends here. Someone you used to speak to, before silence became law, glances at you, just a glance. But in that glance, you see it. Fear. Not for you, for himself. He's afraid your pain will slow him down, that your stumble might be seen, that your injury might cost him a meal. And he's right. This is how it works. No one wants to be next. That's all anyone knows anymore. You finish resetting the line. The master builder inspects it. He grunts, moves on. You breathe. That's the reward. One more breath. The sun tilts westward, still brutal, still blinding. But it's movement. Movement is hope. The worst is yet to come. As the work shifts to clearing the sand from around the foundation, your team is given shovels. They're not really shovels, just flat wood tied to sticks. But they work, sort of. You dig, not for gold, not for treasure. For someone else's monument. You don't even know what it is. A temple? A tomb? A wall? They never tell you. You're not meant to understand the shape of the thing, just you're part of it. You dig. Your back feels like iron. Your spine cracks when you bend. Your vision swims, but you keep going. Sometimes you wonder what would happen if you just sat down. Would they notice? Would they stop? Would they punish you? Yes. You already know the answer, so you don't. You don't even pause. You feel a bug crawl across your cheek. You don't swat it. You don't have the energy. Let it bite. Let it feed. Everything else does. When the sun finally begins to drop, it isn't relief you feel. It's dread. Because night brings different rules and different dangers. You finish the dig just as the overseer signals the end. He doesn't shout this time. He just raises a hand, and like that, everyone stops. No cheers, no joy, just absence. The sudden vacuum where suffering was. You stagger to your feet and start walking back. There's no food waiting, maybe some bread if you're lucky. If your mother traded enough linen or begged a neighbor or gave up her own. You don't think of that. You think of the well. You want water, more than anything. But the queue is long and the jars are few. You join it anyway, because thirst is the one pain you can't ignore. You wait. The stars begin to appear, and you realize something. You didn't speak today. Not once. Not a word. Not a sound. The silence is inside you now, a second skin. You wonder if that's how the gods hear us. Wordless, dry, distant. When it's your turn, you drink. 3 sips. You want more, but you stop. Because you have to. Because tomorrow will come, and if it doesn't, well, that's someone else's worry. You lie down on the same mat, same spot, same airless heat. Your brother is already asleep. The cat is gone. You close your eyes, and for a moment, just before sleep, if sleep comes, you remember something. A story, from when you were small, about a river that never stops flowing, and a God who counts every drop. That God never spoke to you, but maybe he's watching. Maybe he knows your name, or maybe not. Maybe you're just another stone in the wall, and in this place that's all anyone ever becomes. The sky is not dark, but it is not yet light. There is a kind of pre-dawn gray that belongs only to Egypt. Dull, heavy, and strange, as though the sun itself is reluctant to rise. You are awake before it, not because you want to be, but because you never really slept. The mat beneath you is hard, woven from reeds so old they've turned brittle. Every shift of your body in the night reminded you that rest is not guaranteed. Your shoulder still burns from yesterday's strap, and your right ankle has begun to swell. You try not to look at it. The air inside the house smells of old ash, dried dung, and human breath. There are 5 people, including you, sharing this space. It is not a home. It is a shelter, at best. A place where you are not dead. Yet. Your mother, or the woman who raised you, names blur over time, moves quietly in the corner. Her face is shadowed, but you can tell she is already needing something. Old grain, water, maybe some crushed date. Whatever it becomes, it's breakfast. You'll take it. Your brother coughs. It's dry, shallow. He's been coughing for 3 nights now. No one says anything. Coughs are common. Talking about them makes them real. You sit up, slowly. The movement wakes the pain in your spine. You stretch your arms overhead, but only halfway. Anything more, and the tightness pulls hard at your ribs. You chew the inside of your cheek instead. Focus on the taste of blood. It's cleaner than the air. There is no time for washing. You splash water on your face from a bowl someone filled last night. It's warm. Always warm, like everything else. Even the wind is warm. The door creaks open. Not a door, really. Just cloth and wood. light filters in, pale and dusty. The day begins not with bird song, but with the shuffling of feet, the groan of leather, the muttering of neighbors too tired to form full sentences. You join them. The path is worn into the earth by centuries of identical steps. Some carry baskets, others carry nothing. Most carry the same look. Forward, blank, already gone in their minds to the place of work. Today, you're one of the lucky ones. You've been assigned to the irrigation trench. Not the stone quarry, not the oxen pits. It's backbreaking, but there's water nearby. That makes a difference. You think. You hope. The trench lies near the edge of the date groves. Long, straight cuts in the earth where men move with slow, mechanical rhythm. Water flows in narrow channels, controlled by wooden gates that barely work. Your job is simple. Dig the sidewalls wider. Again, and again, and again. The shovel is not a tool. It's a weapon. Against your muscles. Against your resolve. You begin with the left side. The soil is packed hard. Clay and rock mixed with bone-dry root. The first few strikes bounce back into your arms. You reposition. Try again. Your hands blistered yesterday. The scabs tear today. By the 10th stroke, your palms are wet. By the 20th, your back feels as though it's splintering. By the 30th, you stop counting. Next to you, an older man mutters a hymn. Not to any god you know. His words are strange. Sharp, cracked, full of dust. He wears a pendant made of bone. When he works, it swings. You try not to stare. He catches you looking. Don't count the hits, he says. Count the ones that land. You don't answer. You wouldn't know what to say. The sun appears, finally, like a punishment. It rises not gently, but violently, pouring over the land like molten gold, drying sweat before it can cool you. It shines into your eyes, into the trench, into every thought you hoped to keep private. There is nowhere to hide. Even your shadow hides from this sun. Your stomach growls. That bread from earlier, if you can call it that, is gone. Burned up by effort, erased by time. You swallow dry. Focus on the next patch of soil, and the next. You find a worm. Long, pale, dead. You toss it aside. A boy 2 places down sees it. He gasps, laughs. Just once. The guard hears it. Within seconds, the boy is dragged from the line. You don't look. You hear a strike. You hear a scream. Then nothing. The guard returns, wiping his knuckles. Keep digging, he says, as if nothing has changed, but something has. There is less joy now, even in the breath, even in the silence. The worm is still there. You step on it as you move forward. You dig. The trench deepens. Your feet slide in the mud. Your arms become rubber. Your breath shortens. A blister bursts. You do not flinch. You cannot, because someone is watching, always. And the soil must be broken before it breaks you. That's the rule. And rules here are older than stone. You don't remember when the sun stopped being light and became something else. A weight, a hammer, a god. No one speaks of it that way, not out loud, but you all feel it. The sun in Egypt does not bless. It punishes, and today it has chosen you. The sky is white now. Not blue, not gray, just bleached, like the cloth wrapped around the dead. You squint. Your eyes sting. The wind offers no help. It comes in short bursts, dry, sharp, lifting sand into your nose, your ears, the corners of your mouth. Your tongue is swollen. The water jar was emptied hours ago. You have not spoken since morning. Around you, the trench team has scattered. Some dig in pairs, some alone. But all move slower now. The overseer notices. Of course he does. His shouts grow shorter, angrier. He waves his baton in the air like a priest waving incense. But the only thing he sanctifies is fear. You dig anyway. The soil is not soil anymore. It's brick, baked in place by the sun. You press your foot down on the blade to push it in. It barely bites. Your heel slips. You fall to one knee. No one offers a hand. They can't. Helping is dangerous. You've seen it before. A gesture mistaken for laziness, or resistance, or some imagined insult. There are no second chances here, only fewer meals. So you get up on your own. You wipe the dirt from your knee and realize the skin is broken. Blood seeps through. Slow, thick, almost black. It doesn't matter. You keep going. You're not the only one bleeding. Across the trench, a man's lip is split open from a fall. Another is missing a toe. A woman, older than your mother, limps every third step. No one stops. No one ever stops. Except, there is one thing that can pause the work. Only one, and it comes now. A man in white. Not the overseer, not a builder, a priest. Everyone stops. They don't have to be told. You all know the sound of his sandals. Flat, even, too clean for this place. His robes catch the light, and his face is painted gold around the eyes. A servant of Ra. He carries a bowl and a staff, and a look that belongs to someone who does not sweat. When he speaks, it is not loud, but it is heard. The sun sees all, he says. The river hears all. The earth remembers. A woman bows. Others follow. One man stays standing too long. The priest doesn't notice, or pretends not to. The bowl is filled with water. Real water. Not for you. For the ground. A libation. He pours it onto the soil. It hisses when it touches, like the land is thirsty enough to scream. He recites a prayer. You know some of the words. Ra, the Sun Father, Ma'at, balance, Set, chaos. But most of the chant is old language, temple tongue, meant only for those chosen to speak it. Still, you mouth it quietly, not because you believe, but because not believing is dangerous. The priest finishes. He turns and leaves. The trench returns to silence. Then motion. Then pain. You dig faster. Not because of his words, because of the water. You saw it. You smelled it. You remembered it, and now your thirst is louder than your fear. Your tongue sticks to your teeth. Your sweat no longer cools you. It just becomes salt on your skin. Flakes, cracks, peels. You feel heat on the back of your neck, a sharp sting. Sunburn, the kind that turns to fever by dusk. You think of the gods again, and this time not Ra, but the old ones, the ones beneath. You heard once, from a girl who no longer comes to the trench, that there are spirits in the walls, that every brick holds a soul, that if you die here, your breath becomes mortar. You believed her. You still do. You dig slower, not from weakness, but from caution. You don't want to disturb the dead. There are signs, after all. A breeze when none should blow, a shadow in the shape of a man, though no man stands there. A whisper in your ear when everyone else is asleep. The gods are here, not the ones in temples, the ones beneath the sand, watching, counting, waiting, and in the moment you believe that, fully, completely, your hand hits something, hard, not rock, not root, something carved. You stop, brush the dirt, it's a face, stone, smooth, cold, eyes open, mouth closed, not smiling, not frowning, just watching. It shouldn't be here, but it is. You glance up, no one sees you. You cover it again, and keep digging, because it's safer to pretend you never found it. Safer to let the gods sleep, and maybe, if you survive today, you'll tell someone. Or maybe you won't, because secrets here are heavier than stone, and more dangerous than fire. You try not to think about the face beneath the soil, but it's there now, under your thoughts, under your fingers, under every movement, watching, silent, and suddenly the trench feels narrower. The sky feels closer. The sun feels angrier, as if it too saw what you saw. The overseer calls for the trench to widen. He doesn't say why. He doesn't need to. You obey. You all obey. Because you are not men and women here. You are tools, and tools do not ask questions. You shift your position, reach deeper into the earth. Your muscles protest, your bones grind, but you keep going. One cut of the shovel, 2, 3, and then it happens. A tremor, not in the earth, but in you. Something shifts in your back. A white-hot pain runs from your spine to your hip. You freeze. You can't breathe. You grip the handle with both hands, press your feet into the soil, and stay upright. Barely. You can't fall. Not now. Not here. Behind you, footsteps. Slow. Heavy. The overseer. He walks the trench like a wolf among sheep. He pauses near you. You don't look. He waits. You move. Just enough. He moves on. Your breath returns, shallow and fast. You want to scream. Instead, you dig. The sun is beginning to lower. Its light turns orange, casting long shadows over the trench. Shadows that stretch like fingers. You watch them climb the walls. You pretend they're hands reaching for you. It makes the pain easier. The priest doesn't return, but his bowl did. You find it buried near the waterline. Empty. Cracked. You leave it. The others begin to slow. Some lean on their shovels. One drops to his knees. No one helps. There is nothing left to give. Even pity has a price here. The guard approaches the line. He counts bodies, not names, just heads. Then he nods. Day's end. No words, no praise, just the absence of pain. And that, here, is a gift. You drop your tool. It falls into the trench with a hollow sound, like dropping metal into a grave. You walk away without looking back. The face is still there, buried, watching. But the earth is quiet now, and for one more night, so are you.